sometimes these forces are so strong inside us, even as consciousness, but it's so strong inside this identity of a person and past and time, relationship and memory and all of that, that in some way it feels almost impossible to remain as the consciousness, because there's still so much charge inside the personality. There's still so much energy to burn. There's still so many things to burn there. So I don't know any other remedy for that, but to really take the inquiry totally to heart, and to as your way of waking out of this dream of being a certain person, which you are not. I can only say that it has to be like that. And I think all of humanity is in this. Even people who appear to have been awake and writing books and being something, still to break out of the mold of identity is perhaps the last stain to it is not that you cannot feel emotion and pain and frustration, but after a while you just become momentary. They're just momentary. They're not patterns. The patterns have gone. The outlines are not filled in anymore. You know, and that is the fruit of real inquiry. I cannot put another, because the minute I start to speak to you on the level of inquiry, and I feel that somehow a response is present, or your seeing begins to function again, then I feel space. If I cannot feel that space in you, then I feel trapped in you. I feel like it's just bloody depressing to be a human being, you know, believing yourself to be, you know, your mind and conditioning and personality is such a small world. And at a certain point I can listen to these things and say, yeah, okay, but maybe you need to take a look at this, or so on and so on. But I see how much aspiration, how much potential is showing itself in the conversation I'm having with you, and how long we can continue talking in the energy field of a person, and when is the chance coming to see that you can take a full breath again in yourself. This is important, no? Because I don't feel therapy is only going to help you to be a more spacious person, a more free kind of person, a more sort of solving the problem that you had as a person, but it won't get you to be free. And one who is free can be in a relationship. Doesn't mean, okay, you know, all relationships are free. No. You can have a loyalty in a relationship. It can be there. It can be something like that also. But just when it has such a sting, and when I listen, and what you feel is the kind of claustrophobia of living stuffed inside this meat body. It feels very heavy, and yet I know that this is only real because of the investment of belief and attention and identity in it. Because if you are free, what situation is there that you can be in which will bring you back again in identity? There really should not be any situation that by itself has the power to plunge you back into identity. It may bring up something very powerful. It can bring up very, very, very powerful identification, but you will watch it. Something will be present with you to enable you to look at it and to hold your ground in the undivided state, and to burn that ghost. But if you are in your satsang and these things come, then in a sense you have to be a bit grateful that they show you, because they don't create, but they also reveal to you where there is still this insurgent power inside you. There is still these dividing powers inside you. There's still all these conditions inside you. And that relationships, especially, love relationships, emotional, romantic relationships, this type of thing, is unique in stirring up and bringing out certain aspects of yourself that other relationships won't bring. And use it for your satsang. And you can use satsang for your relationship, but I'd say use your relationship for satsang. To find, where you compromise yourself as consciousness, not as a person. Mm-hmm. Because if you solve this as consciousness, you really are out of the trap, any trap. If you solve it as a person, then it's only till the next problem. This is why I don't really want to give so much energy to, sort of like looking through the alphabet system of problems. I rather just keep pointing you, listen, you are consciousness. Because if you are going to look at so-called problems one by one, for me, it's like going out with a fishing line and one worm to go and catch a fish to feed a family. But if I can get you to look from the place of consciousness, it's like throwing a net over the whole ocean, and everything is caught in it. And how long it will take for that type of response to ignite in you again, to say, whoa, but yeah, of course, I'm sleeping. I was sleeping in this mindset. I've been sleeping. But if you're not reminded, it's almost like the power is not showing itself to remind yourself. And this concerns me, because I feel by now, I need to see some signs there that you're able to bail yourself out. How long will you remain stuck in a situation that always you have to be rescued? At a certain point you start to be able to look and say, no, it's not this, not to go there, don't touch this. And stay with the love. But look at where the deceit is, and look where the division is, and understand that, and stay put in the righteousness of consciousness. And sometimes I really don't know if as yet, it's like a flat battery in a car, and I'm just push starting you, and it's a lot of energy to push start a flat battery in a car. A lot of energy. Some people you can push maybe for 10 meters and that's it. You push, put it in first gear, and then when it fires up, then you don't have to push anymore. But if you keep pushing, and the bloody car won't start, then what to say? I look, I see the batteries in place, the wheels are there, everything is there. Why it won't start? Why it won't start? Why is it that in this time of being together and looking and sitting with me also, and I have nothing else to share with you but this, because I don't see anything that comes near to the power of inquiry for the freedom of consciousness in the human form. I don't see anything greater than this, surrendering yourself at the feet of God, or inquiry. and I've not given you a mixed message, I've not given you 15 techniques to always point you back, then what are you doing in this year? Sleeping or what? Or is there some mistrust, or some resistance, or you're in a kind of coma?
It's like not a surrendering, like something is holding.
But this surrendering, I know this something is holding. I know it's not true. Why don't you know it's not true? Why you keep on speaking about this? But there's something there. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's just a belief that you've kept up, that there's something there. Something. You are here. And something is there. What is there something there? Where have you got to go to? How much inches, how many feet, how many meters you must go to meet God? How much distance is there? What must you pass through that you say something is there? Where do you have to go that the something being there means anything for you? What is that? Some tightness in the chest, or claustrophobia, all these things. They are just the bark of a chihuahua. Why are we giving so much energy to this thing? I really find it totally unacceptable, actually. I find it unacceptable that after all this time something is presented before you and you're able to look for yourself and stop believing in the insanity of your own mind, or the identity which you know to be not true. Then what gives it more life? You must prove that. Because if you ask for help and help is offered, and this is the case with many people, they ask for direction, ask for help, the help is offered, but they don't take it. They're going to take something else. So I see that it's a kind of a game, or sort of something that you keep up. It's not someone else is doing against you. Something inside your own energy field is somehow got some dirt, some what you may call some corruption or something in it. But it can be cleaned out. At a certain point you can't keep blaming the devil, blaming the police, blaming the government, blaming your parents, blaming your partnership, blaming. You have to look and say, well, hang on a second, but it really doesn't work like that. Something here is cooperating with it. I feel like this. I don't know. Somehow I find myself talking more to you at this moment. And I cannot say that all this talk is to try and save your relationship. It's to save you, actually. Because there is something there which is a kind of shutdown. But for me, it's you give so much energy to what is just, not essential. What is fleeting, what is momentary. You're giving so much attention to it. And you can see the effect, because your energy slips into a very tamasic state. You look like you're tied to your chair or something, like you're being told off. I don't know, all these things are coming up, and it's only the perfume of identity that they see there. You see? And it is not you, it's not true. But I don't see how even the feeling like I feel stuck in this, I just feel like trapped. I understand this feeling. That for many people they can feel a bit, like trapped or stuck. I don't know what to do, and so on and so on. So, but don't put your whole life into that feeling. It's just a feeling. You keep on talking in terms of, I just feel stuck. I don't know what to do, and you keep, sort of like reminding yourself and other people that you don't know what to do, and you feel like this, and you don't know what to do, and I don't know, it used to feel better before, and it's my God, what is this? Who wants to read your newspapers? But I see it is just a habit. Should you be bouncing around jumping for joy? No, but you could be in a place of great contentment and peace, and not easily intimidated by your own concepts or projections or so. Because I told you, if you say something wants to run away, I say, where are you going to run to? Tell me a better place than here, any of you. No, do. I would like you to tell me. Because mine wants to run, and it's like, whether it's a relationship with her or with me or whatever, something is going to come. You have the power. You have the power. But there's also some power that is purchasing your mind, that is sucking your mind. Whatever happened yesterday or yesteryear or whatever it is not real. It still can have a force. I mean, in fact, all our lives as people are based upon old events in memory, somehow perpetuating a kind of a way of expression and so on. But unless you're able to move out of that dream state into that ageless consciousness, I don't know what to say to you. You after being here for some time, I understand that somehow, yes, you have not been on the earth for 30 years or something, or 30 odd years. You're not new to this. Maybe just we forget. A baby is not new to this. It's just a gain. It's just more. You have to move on from upliftment feelings, where you feel beautiful for a while and you're in Satsang, and then it wears off. And then humdrum. I find it unacceptable somehow. It's not, what am I speaking to you as? As a person? No. There's a place actually for helplessness. Sometimes you can feel really helpless and you can ask for help. From the bottom of your heart you can say, please help me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do anything at all. And it puts you back on course again. Not everyone has to follow the path of inquiry. If it's not yet, your temperament or your energetic, resonance, you can be like this. A way is provided for every state, for every temperament, for every way of thinking. If he says, I don't know what to do, please help me. Help me to see what I should see. Help is there. So
I think that's another reason why there's no better place than here, because you don't have to have any way. You just have to have that in your heart. You don't have to be into inquiry really. You can be in surrender. You can be in anything actually, because you do provide. Somehow there's space for everything.
Yes. There seemed to be for a while some power inside that just stands a chance with you. A power to fall into delusion or something. That doesn't seem to give up for as long as you're up for business.
There is a stubbornness in me, and associated with some pride which doesn't want to give up. So still it seems that it's not enough. Like I'm aware, like when I have all this state, I say, okay, let's just watch, but it seems like still I don't manage to watch from a place, the place you're talking about. Like,
Yes.
I watch from a place and then it feels like I try to put this feeling a bit like this, and then it's like somehow it energizes them, or I don't know, and then I feel all my energy go and I either fell to sleep or go and cannot keep the.
I have to be honest with you that you're right for the most part, because for most people, there's very little they can do about their situation. Very little. For most people, it's very little. If your mind pattern is a bit like that, to go into this state, is very little you can do. You have to suffer more. You just have to suffer more, because if you only half suffer, it's not enough to break certain patterns. Sometimes only when somehow the potato is hot enough that you can let go of something, that life, you becomes unbearable or something. For most people, it is like that. That's what fuels change. Or maybe another way is like maybe falling in love with someone, and then somehow, it breaks, washes out all the debris for a while, but very quickly it starts to create a new conditioning again or something. Or you have an accident, or someone close to you dies or something, to jerk you out of your sleep, but mostly for a while. When I point to you, there is a way to come out, but it's not casual and just, relax, don't worry. It's not like that. This is why I don't go out looking for anybody, because only those who find their way here, I feel they stand a chance or something to take the shortcut. Because for many people, they have to, what may take them 4 years to process out, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks they process it here or something, because the environment is so intensely saturated with that type of focus and devotion that all your little nonsenses cannot live happily in that. So then things get triggered, and then you feel all this kind of, displaced and lost and angry and frustrated, but it's only because the fire is turned up, and all the bits that were hiding in different places start to come to the surface. But you have to be reminded of that and to say, look, it's okay, don't panic, don't go to psychotherapy, don't go to your doctor, it's fine. Just keep saying yes and offer all these things up. Because you are not in a position at that time to do anything about anything. You would only be coming from the old way of looking, from the old mind that has the same old kind of approaches to try and get help, but it's only momentary. But something here offers a chance. I have been to IKEA, in London. I go to IKEA sometime, and they designed this shop, IKEA, that you just walk along, you're not thinking, and it takes you to every bloody department. You go to everything, you see everything, and it takes you back to the counter. Okay? But sometimes you can find a shortcut. You want to get out, you don't want to see all these things, you go to someone and says, how can I go to exit? He says, okay, go to the children's department, and where you see the bed and the prams, turn left and go downstairs. Thank you. Boom, boom, and you're out. Otherwise, you're like the rest of humanity in IKEA. And IKEA is a perfect metaphor for the world. You have to keep going through all the things.
And everyone is following.
And then, so the satsang offers you shortcut. But if you're thinking, I want to come out a bit, maybe I want to go back to linens. How can I get to linens? Okay, just turn left and go through here. And you're back to linens, and you have to go through everything, haberdashery and candles, and then plants and carpets,
Sometimes you go
lights, bathroom, restaurants. You have to go through everything you go through. for me, it is like this, a metaphor like everybody is just going through, carried along in the IKEA existence, and then something says, like, enough! I just want to go out. I want to go out. Say, yeah, well, if you continue down here, no, I want to get out now. Okay, sir, come this way. Boom, boom, boom. Fresh air, thank you. Satsang is giving you fresh air. No.
Just to expose what is here and what I've been trying maybe to hide. It's like when you speak, there's strong things. I don't want to go there. Like you offer me this space, this peace, this like this thing. I'm pretending. I aspire to the. This is what I want, but there is something that says I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the shortcut.
Yes.
I want to keep enjoying my life.
Yeah.
This kind of nonsense.
Actually,
I have to expose it because
it is true.
I'm just pretending like, this is what I want. But no, it's like I feel all my action are expressing this lie, which I'm here pretending how I want
Well,
this.
at least if you are, something is pretending in this with your cooperation, that's why you say you are pretending. Because even a small particle of yourself that is somehow in betrayal to your truth feels like it's you doing it. And you have to learn to manage your powers. The mind is your power. The senses are your power. The power to believe is your power. The power to observe is your power. The power to identify is your power. And this ship you must sail alone. And you must sail your ship. And I am not unaccustomed to this type of thinking, because even once, one of the people here say, the thought is there in me that, if Mooji dies, at least I can get on with my life. I know that it happened. People feel, because that part of your minds were like that. It's the bloody devil, actually. Okay? And it feels like, because, and it's this part that keeps fantasizing that there's something better, that outside is free. And when you go, it will feel like freedom. The mind will say, hey, baby, come. You see, look what nearly happened to you. Oh, and then you feel great. For a while. You're going to be in this thing. And I know many people who have slipped down that shaft. And they're still out there, thinking they have a life. Thinking they have a life. You have to overcome that. You must discern between what is true and what is posing as true. Because for a while the mind is everybody's guru. But at some point you must discern what is authentic. Some things they sound the same, but when you come close you see they're not the same. When you smell them and taste them, they're not the same. But can you discern that? When the mind is divided, it is very weak. You may think you're keeping your options open, but actually you're weakening yourself. Either be fully wrong or fully right. But don't be half right. Don't be half wrong. If you want to drown yourself, well, why try and drown yourself in shallow water? Better go out in the deep, drown yourself properly. You come with this kind of half-heartedness. As I said before, you ask for much, but you offer so little from your own self. You think that God is going to be tricked and put a fruit basket in your lap. Something in you as consciousness must choose somehow. Yeah. It's not choosing 100 things, it's just choosing one thing. Yeah. You see, you don't have to join any club, but keep following the guidance you receive. Either you accept what I am speaking, put it to the test, or leave me alone. Go your way. Give your space to another one. Or if you're being here, try it out fully. So that if you fail fully. Then you say, listen, I tried it, it doesn't work for me. I said, okay, show me what you did. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, you're just meant to fail. Off with your head. On your bike. Or whatever. But don't hang around. You can be with me for the rest of your life, or lifetimes, any lifetimes you want. But one thing has to be, you have to stay fresh. You have to stay fresh. Because I don't keep company with ghosts.
That's why when you said there's fear of, I don't know what it was, it's more like this fear of, I feel anyway, there's fear of true happiness somehow.
But it's not a true fear. It's all to do with ignorance. There's no fear. There's no fear. Fear is an illusion. Because there's nothing really to fear. It can only come fear because of ignorance. Because fear is not a natural part of being. If we're in a state of continuing fear, it means that somehow we're off the mark. You're not sitting inside yourself. We're identifying with something or something that can bring in this type of habitual fear. Of course, a whiff of fear, something may happen, a response, but it doesn't carry off into memory or builds up any karma, because there's nothing for it to do that. It's only when you have the identity of a person, then you come into time and memory and desire and longing and all of these things. In India, one man was asking me, Mooji, I want to talk here and Satsang. I'm taking a risk because really I'm very, very shy, and I find that so and so and so, and I would like to really get over the shyness. I said, to be honest with you, I'm not interested in helping you to overcome shyness. I'm not interested in helping you to overcome shyness. Maybe it's good that you're shy, because maybe you're not shy, you'll be very arrogant. I don't know. I cannot help you to stop shyness. I'm here to help you to be free. So don't be looking to try and just fix problems here, fix this problem here. It's unending. It is unending. Find out who you are. Return to your truth. This is what this place is. I'm not a therapist. I can see all these idiosyncrasies and so on about you, but I just don't believe in them. Yes, of course, sometimes things you have to do as you move, but your main focus is on being clear as to what it is that is consciousness. When you say I, that you are this consciousness itself. Not as a belief or a study, but as your own direct confirmation, verification, your own experience. And it is not difficult. It's not a question of difficulty. But if there's earnestness, if there's real resolve inside, if there's a real urge or desire for truth, then welcome. But if you're going to keep on giving, a portion of your attention and your energy to these divided states, and sometimes I love you, sometimes I don't love you, sometimes I'm not this. I say, my God, what are you, this creature from Lord of the Rings, what they call this one? I think some people are like that. Just a much more smarter version of it. I'm only here actually for that. Only the people really who somehow have this undying thirst for clarity, this love for truth. Otherwise, if that was not here, I don't want to live here with all these people. Sincerely speaking, I know that the emphasis here is not on friendships. But perhaps here you meet the best friends you will meet. You don't have to be seeking any. I know people here, I know people that they've been friends for like 35 years or something. And it is a blossoming friendship, a blossoming relationship. Full of joy and freedom and freshness and pure love. But that's not the focus here. Let it happen. Because the Sangha must mean something. It must mean something. If there's integrity in it, and the only integrity I can see is to meet those who are just, they're born for truth. They are born for truth. Keep their company.
This love is God. This love is you. This love is true. This love is grace. This love is grace. This love is God. This love is God.